This is our fourth class in the series of encouraging entrepreneurship among our high school students throughout Vietnam. Today, we're talking about developing a process for identifying and evaluating revenue streams. So, what's a revenue stream? And it seems obvious, right? Anything that you make money off of. But people forget that there are lots of different types of revenue streams that are out there. And that goes from getting grants from nonprofit and foundations to selling things online to providing services. So there are lots of different ways that you can make money. So there are product sales such as selling t-shirt, baked goods, accessories, phone cases, handmade crafts, all things that high school students across Vietnam have done. Subscription services like study guides and English clubs, and monthly content packages and learning communities. There are advertising, such as if you become an influencer and you have a site on TikTok or YouTube, if you draw enough people, you can sell advertisements on it. And you can have blog sponsorships and brand partnerships. And there's service fees, tutoring, translation, digital design, photo editing, social media management. And then you can earn commissions by reselling other people's products, affiliate marketing, connecting buyers with sellers. You might get an exclusive right to sell a certain mobile game in Vietnam, and you're marketing it out there, and you are getting commission for every sale. Or that you might get the rights to certain T-shirts that are designed in Italy, and you're selling them in Vietnam, and you're getting a commission for each one of those. And then there are rentals like camera equipment, uniforms, books, game consoles, sports gear. We have a student that started a business in high school where she rents out gowns across Vietnam. And she has 6 full-time employees and does 5,000 USD a month. We have another student who sells sneakers online. Very unique, one-of-a-kind types of sneakers, hard to find, but he has relationships, and he's been doing it since 6th grade, has 6 people, and also is making 5,000 USD. So there are real examples of student entrepreneurs throughout Vietnam. There's fashion design, selling designs through Shopee and TikTok. Students create their own unique designs reflecting Vietnam's youth and culture and K-pop interest and even local humor. And the average profit is 30,000 to 50,000 dong per shirt. There's educational services like tutoring on English and math, and you can make good money doing that. You can make 100,000 to 200,000 dong per hour. And then there are digital products like mobile game development and in-app purchases in the games, or creating custom Discord servers with premium features. Tech-savvy students can make a lot of money doing that, and it goes all over. It could be even up to 1 million dong to go and do that. Then there are local crafts selling handmade jewelry, custom phone cases, or packaged local snacks. There are students in Vietnam that sell these things right at their own schools, or they participate in festivals selling them. Services businesses like bike cleaning, pet walking, plant care to residential areas requires minimal investment, just cleaning supplies and reliability, and it builds trust and repeat customers. And then there's content creation. For somebody like me who's 64, going to be 65, I need help with content creation to reach the younger market like yourselves for educational purposes. And so I need help on TikTok and YouTube and other social media platforms. The formula for pricing a product, what's included is the cost per unit is what's the materials cost, like the raw ingredients and fabric and supplies you might need to create a t-shirt, or if you're making scarves, packaging such as boxes, bags, labels, protective wrapping, labor, the time you have to put in both to create the product, to go and research all the materials that you're going to need, to go to a store or a factory and warehouse to buy the materials. That's driving up, driving back, the time you put together your list, the time you're actually there. Delivery, the shipping fees, grab cost, and transportation to customers. Platform fees like Shopee, where they're charging 3 to 5% per transaction, or TikTok shop fees, and of course, payment processing fees. And then marketing, social media ads, promotional materials, photography. Start pricing 20 to 30% above your total cost. This will give you room for occasional discounts. At the same time, ensure that you'll be making money. Formula for pricing services. You charge an hourly rate times the time required plus any additional costs. So if you are teaching English and you're teaching it online on Zoom, like I'm teaching you today, then you're just charging an hourly rate. But if in fact you actually have to go to someone's house and you have to charge them for the time to go there, the time to come back, and the time you're there teaching them. And if you're doing graphic design work, you might be charging 200,000 VND per hour. And you look at how many hours that it took you to do the graphic design work, whether it's a brochure, a website, or developing a t-shirt for someone. And for returning clients, some designers might reduce the price 10 to 15% to build up loyalty, but you're going to be charging an hourly rate for your graphic design. And social media management, as I mentioned, someone like me at my age, I need the help. I need somebody to manage the social media. So that would include content creation, a posting schedule, and engagement monitoring. Where to research your cost? Well, you can go to e-commerce platforms such as Shopee, Lazada, and Tiki for materials and pricing. Search for bulk options and compare multiple sellers. You can use AI to go and pull the seller's information and put together a competitive analysis spreadsheet. You can go to local markets and visit them and write down prices. You can go to wholesale districts where they're selling the raw goods like fabric, snacks, and ingredients, or craft supplies, and you can negotiate and buy for better rates. There's transportation apps like Grab and Gojek, or Bayman, for who will give you accurate delivery costs so you know what to include in that price. And sell centers like TikTok Shop and Shopee, seller dashboards to platform fees, payment processing charges, commission structure. So you can get all of that information so you can figure out what you should really charge for this. You got to make sure that you don't underprice what you're doing. So that's very important, not to underprice what you're selling, so you make sure that you make a profit. Evaluating each revenue stream, you look at profitability and profit margins, revenue minus cost, and not gross margins, net margins. When all of the numbers are put in, that's what you care about most. You have to think about the time you've invested. Oftentimes people just calculate the materials when they're baking a cake, not thinking about the time it took to go and put the list together for all the ingredients, to get on their motorbike or get in a car or take a bus to get to the market to go and buy those products, the time it takes to shop, the time it takes to get back. All of that has to be included in your pricing. What required skills are needed beyond what you're able to do, and how much that's going to cost to have someone. So you might be hiring your own social media marketing people, or you might be hiring somebody to go and drop your products off or package your products. Competition level, how many others are offering in your area the same product or service that you're offering, and at what price. And finding out what the local demand is by testing it before you actually launch it and spend money on this. You got to see if there's actually willing buyers for your product. and the startup cost to go and do whatever you're going to do. Luckily today, it's cheaper to start a company today than any other time in history because there's so many free products out there to help you get started. And you got to be able to see if you can scale whatever you're doing. Because if you can't, it's capping your income, and you don't want to cap your income. Hands-on activity for building a revenue model. Choose your business idea, and not just selling food, but specifically what exactly you're going to go and sell. List all the revenue streams that you think that you can make from it. Just like when we're running a hackathon at VinUnivesity, we could be selling sponsorship. We can be selling the results of the event by selling all the new ideas that have come out of it. We can take a percentage of any investment that's come from the event that any of the companies got. So there are different ways that you can have revenue streams. If you write a mystery novel, not only can you make money selling the book, but you can go and license your book out to a game maker who would create a game around it. And then you not only got the licensing fee, but you could also negotiate where you get a percentage of every sale of that game. Apply different pricing formulas to see which one will work the best, both providing you with a good profit margin, but also keep you competitive. Estimate your monthly sales so you know how much money that you're going to make at the end of the day versus how much expenses that you're going to have. You want to project going forward so you can reinvest that money back in the business and keep growing it. And then you want to go and look at your findings. You want to be able to go and take a look at the revenue streams, the pricing breakdown, the monthly projections, and see if it makes sense what you want to start. And if that doesn't make sense, then you can look at another model. And the beauty of AI is that you can ask AI, what are the fastest growing industries? What are products that are in demand in the Vietnam marketplace or any other marketplace? So again, you want to go and come up with the idea, see if there's a market for it, see what revenue streams are out there, and what's the cost to keep this, to start this business, grow it, and make sure there's enough money that it makes sense for you to do it, or you'll look at something else. Building smarter and more sustainable businesses. You're always looking at your numbers so that way you can make sure that you're profitable. And in the beginning, you'll probably have losses until you can grow the business. Test before scaling. I've made the mistake of launching business without actually testing the idea before doing it, spending a minimal amount of money to develop a minimal viable product, an MVP, to test it out before making a significant investment, making sure that you talk to people who would actually want to pay for what you're offering. Diversify when possible, creating additional revenue streams so you have stability and growth. And you never know, those new revenue streams could be the big revenue returner than the original idea. So I once worked with a bank, and they were an online bank, and they had 7 different revenue streams. And the one revenue stream that really worked for them was credit card transactions, getting a piece of every credit card transaction. Out of a list of 10 revenue streams, that was number 7 on their list. And that turned out to be so big that they were able to take the company public, and the founders made a lot of money. You have to stay flexible because the market is in a constant state of change. There are cost fluctuations, customer preferences change. So you have to be flexible along with it. So I look forward to you developing your own ideas and seeing where they go. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Have a great day.